Emma, please let me explain.
Get away from me! A long time ago, an evil witch deceived the king into believing the Bolide Shard was a great treasure. He plans to use the shard to remake the world in a misguided belief that he is honoring his queen's dying wishes. There's a reason the king allows me to be here. I'm a descendant of his daughter. He sees her in me. I've tried to reason with him, but he won't listen to me. You must stop the king before it's too late. I will help you, but first we must restore the fallen pieces of the Sky Kingdom. You fixed the castle, Detective. This is wonderful news. Now we can look for the vault key. The vault key is hidden in Prince Leonard's tower somewhere. We should look for it there.
Once upon a time, a miller boasted his daughter could spin wheat into gold. The king demanded a demonstration, but the miller's daughter had no such skill. Knowing the dawn would bring her death, the daughter wept bitterly. Suddenly, an imp appeared before her and offered to spin the wheat in return for her firstborn child. The daughter agreed. Delighted, the king married her the next day. Their first child soon followed, and for a while, all was well. But one day, the imp reappeared, demanding what had been promised to him. The king and queen pleaded with the imp for mercy, so he proposed that if they could guess his name in 3 days' time, he would release their daughter from the promise. The king guessed rashly and was cursed. But with the help of a tiny messenger, the queen learned the imp's true name was Rumpelstiltskin. Foiled, the imp tried to leave, but the king had other plans. The king imprisoned the imp, forcing him to spin out gold every day. Soon, his kingdom grew rich beyond his wildest dreams, but the king's insatiable desire for gold would soon be his downfall. There was once a wealthy king who was a fanatical collector of valuable treasures. One day, he heard that an old crone had 3 unique treasures in her possession and paid her a visit. The crone presented to him 3 orphan boys, each imbued with a special talent. She guaranteed their loyalty to the king, so he brought them to his kingdom and appointed them princes. The king's obsession with his fortune pushed him to increasing acts of madness. His subjects fled the kingdom in fear, but the 3 loyal princes remained by the king's side. It was on the deserted kingdom that the princes came of age and into their talents. The eldest prince, Leonard, grew to a mighty warrior with a quick temper and a love of battle. The second prince, Julian, was the king's closest confidant, a hedonist and shapeshifter, taking different appearances as he pleased. The youngest prince, Hugh, was an avid scholar. Pursuant of all knowledge, he developed magic beans that allowed them to live unnaturally long lives. The 3 were united in only one cause: to obey the king's whims. Their mindless devotion to the king made them a most fearsome foe to those who would cross him.
Emma, how could you betray us like this? Look out!
Jack!
I'm fine. It's just a scratch.
It's Prince Julian. He tricked us. Where's the king?
Detective, we have to stop him.
Jack! Are you all right? The king has unleashed the Bolide Shard. What do we do now?
Detective, you have to go after the king. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you. Once I see to my wounds.
There was once a young lad named Jack. Outraged by the poverty he saw plague friends and family while the rich grew richer, Jack picked fat pockets and shared his spoils with all. Soon, Jack made his way into the world of treasure hunting with a group of like-minded friends, eager to expand his efforts to help the poor. It was during their travels that Jack heard of the legend of a kingdom in the sky. With the help of his fiancée, Emma, he acquired the magic beans that grew into a giant beanstalk. At the top, Jack and his friends found the lost kingdom. But in the midst of a raid, they fell under the attack of 3 powerful guardians. At the sudden onslaught, Jack fled to the ground and chopped the beanstalk down. By the time he regained his senses, Jack realized that Emma and his friends were now trapped. Racked with guilt, Jack resided in a small cottage by the beanstalk stump for years, desperately searching for a way to rescue them. Little did he know, one day his efforts would set a terrible plot's wheels in motion once again.
No one can stop me now. The world shall be cleansed and made anew. My queen will be proud of me.
Once upon a time, there was a poor but honorable king who was determined to rebuild his kingdom's fortune. One day, his appetite for gold suddenly grew insatiable. The queen, in despair of his greed, took their daughter in hand and left him. The king suffered many lonely years without them, but his obsession with treasure only flourished. One day, a strange witch came to sell him the most valuable treasure in the world. And it was from this witch that the king learned of his beloved queen's death, and her most unexpected final wish, that the world be purged and remade into one of beauty and peace. The grieving king vowed to honor her memory with the sacrifice of his greatest treasure. He decided to unleash the shard on the day a meteor shower would rain closest to the earth, a rare occurrence that happened only once every millennium. To protect the rest of his treasure, the king used magic to raise his kingdom into the sky. Though magic ensured the king's long life, his plans were thwarted by a petty thief named Jack, who had unwittingly stolen the key that would unleash the treasure. Though Jack escaped, the rest of his gang was left behind, and there was one woman who reminded the king very much of his beloved queen and their young daughter.
Sire!
I failed my family when they needed me. And I see now, nothing I do will amend that. But I can still do what's right for you. Do you think my queen would welcome me now?
No, 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 no! Why? Why did it have to end this way?
The king left Emma the ring so we could stop the bolide shard. Take the ring. Emma needs me here.
Dear Emma, if you see this, that means I have failed, and I am grateful for the part you played in that. A part of me realizes I have gone too far, but all the time I have spent, all that hope, I would give anything to have my family back by my side. I turned a deaf ear to your pleas, but I know you are a smart, courageous girl, and you will think of a way to stop me. I regret that such a large burden was placed on your shoulders. I can only hope that I was stopped in time. Thank you.
Thank you, Detective. You saved us all. Emma, the king wanted you to live. He wanted you to be happy.
The Sky Kingdom was destroyed by the great power of the Bolide Shard. With the trusty aircraft, Jack, Emma, and the detective were able to escape unscathed. The king was reunited with his family, with the realization of what true happiness meant. And Jack and Emma rediscovered a treasure worth more than gold: love. Thanks to the great fairy tale detective, the world was safe once again. Until the next time.